We begin at 5:30 with a governor on the defensive. Governor Healey is defending her pick to the state's high court.
But since Judge Gabrielle Wolohojian is also Healey's former romantic partner, this nomination naturally is raising some eyebrows in political circles. NBC 10 Boston political reporter Matt Pritchard joining us in studio. Matt, good afternoon to you. What can you tell us about Judge Wolohojian here?
Yeah, Colton, JC, her resume really is robust, but concerns over a previous romantic relationship with Governor Maura Healey, they remain in focus, along with how that specific piece of her past could impact the future of the SJC. An introduction filled with praise.
There is no candidate more qualified or better prepared for this critically important role.
While also addressing the elephant in the room.
A personal relationship and my personal relationship with Judge Wolohojian should not deprive the people of Massachusetts of an outstanding SJC justice.
Governor Healey balancing both the promotion of her latest Supreme Judicial Court nominee and the romantic relationship they once shared.
There are no ethical issues with this.
Now, those words doing little to shield Appeals Court Justice Gabrielle Wolohojian from concerns.
We understand that there's a danger in over-recusal.
Governor's council members pressing her on whether those ties would create a need for recusal in SJC cases.
Some people, when they go to these different courts, I've seen that they recuse themselves on different issues. Is there any matter that would?
That is a case-by-case analysis. Every judge does it for every case. I do it now for every case.
Outside voices also chiming in.
Whether there's an actual or perceived conflict, we are concerned about the nomination and what that means to have the judge serving on the highest court in Massachusetts.
I have done everything like every other candidate, and I don't know what else I can do.
As for Justice Wolohojian, she dodged questions from reporters, saying only,
I'm very proud to be here with my mother today.
Now, the vast majority of governor's council members seem to signal that they'll be voting in favor of Judge Wolohojian. That decision will likely come in the next few weeks. In studio, Matt Pritchard, NBC 10 Boston.
Okay, Matt, let's bring in NBC 10 political commentator Sue OConnell. Sue, what is your read on the Justice Wolohojian nomination? Should the governor be concerned about those allegations of nepotism?
JC, no. Look at newsflash. Since the establishment of our Commonwealth, governors have sometimes nominated or hired people who they have known or work with, or who had been their college roommate, or belongs to the same country club, or went to the same college. You get the picture, right? So obviously cronyism is important and we must examine it. But this situation has a number of unique characteristics, the first female and lesbian governor, and reminding you that, for the lifetime of this couple, before they were a couple, but for their lifetime, they were excluded from the ability to access marriage rights until just recently. So you've got this extremely qualified candidate who has been thoroughly vetted for positions under 3 prior governors, Romney, Patrick, and Baker, Republicans and Democrats. And the fact that they're both clearly on good terms should be a good sign, right? So a situation like this, frankly, had no opportunity before to happen. And look, this is exactly why we have the Governor's Council, this body which has been in place since the 1680s, some colonial times. So the concerns were addressed, and I bet you, JC, in 6 months, that they had a romantic relationship in the past is probably going to be a distant memory.
All right, so let's talk about President Biden, can we? Because House Republicans have not abandoned their effort to impeach him. But their major part of their argument has just basically evaporated because the witness who alleged that the president was part of a bribery scheme has now been charged with lying to the FBI about it. So how is this development, can you imagine, going over with those Republicans?
Well, JC, you know what it's like when you're a parent and your kid basically says to you, if I don't acknowledge something, is it just going to go away? And, of course, I'm asking also for my Republican friends in Congress because they seem to be ignoring this and going full steam ahead with their evidence-less case against Biden. So House Judiciary Committee Chair Jim Jordan, a Republican, he says that this doesn't change the fundamental facts, but the Justice Department says their witness made up information about the Bidens. And in fact, he received his information from Russian intelligence. Now, the Republicans had a very slim likelihood of impeaching Biden. And during this entire process, they have found no evidence of the corruption and influence peddling that they have alleged. And now their major witness has been accused of using Russian disinformation to smear Biden. But it doesn't look like the House Republicans are going to let facts get in the way of their baseless impeachment narrative. So full speed ahead for the Republican House to another failure.
Sue, okay, third topic for today, Donald Trump. Last week, the judge overseeing his civil fraud trial ordered that he pay more than $350 million in fines. And this week, the attorney general suggested that she's going to start seizing his properties if he can't pay. So what do you think the former president is going to do?
Well, on one hand, JC, of course, like everyone else, if you don't have the money to pay your fines or refuse to pay your fines, the government comes and gets your stuff. This is standard operating procedure, and he's not immune from that. But, you know, it's clearly just a warning to Trump, and he's going to be in serious trouble if he doesn't pay up. But I imagine that if it actually comes to the government seizing Trump's real estate, it would elevate him to martyr status, and he's just going to keep fundraising off the problem. And since the ruling bars Trump from getting loans from New York banks, some Trump critics are concerned that he may seek money elsewhere, and they worry that if he indeed wins another term and owes some $350+ million to a private individual or a country, what would that mean for the United States?
Sue, as always, thank you for your insight into all three topics today. And don't forget, we recap all the latest political headlines every Sunday morning right here on NBC 10. It starts at 10:30 with Meet the Press, moderated by Kristen Welker. And then at 11:30, join Sue and Corey Smith for At Issue. You can also listen to the Taking Issue podcast. We post new episodes every week. You can listen on NBC10Boston.com/atissue. You can also stream episodes wherever you get your favorite podcasts.